Okay, so I'm going to go through the basic rigging now, the things you need. Obviously you need your shock leader line, which we use this brand. It's available, I'll put a link to where you can get it from in the description, but it is available here in Colombo. So first thing we'll do, you also need some, next thing, chafe leader. So the chafe tube, you can either cut it with this or you can cut it with a knife. Doesn't normally matter, you just nip it off. Sometimes it's better to cut it with a knife. You take a loop of the crimp is the next thing you need. Just take your crimp. I don't double crimp these, I just single crimp. I've not lost a fish yet on them, but I think it just makes it a little bit nicer. You can double crimp if you want to. Once that's on there, you go over and back through the loop. Then just simply hold that with your fingers, pull the loop tight. Take a good pair of crimping pliers. Find the correct size crimp for your crimper for your crimp. I'll just double crimp that a little bit. There. And that's the loop end tied off there. Now if you want to make it a little bit more secure, you can just burn that end there and make a little bead on it, but it doesn't necessarily need that. The next thing to do is our lure goes on. Okay, this is a blue one. The one we actually caught the marlin on was a red and white, but rigged in exactly the same way underneath. It's still the spring system that I'm using. So from here, a nice straight bit of fluorocarbon into the nose, and that should come through and just pop out. Obviously remove the tube. Let me pop out here somewhere. Doesn't go through, just make sure your line is straight. Lucky, a couple of pushes, a twist. Go through. Come on. There we go, it's through. So that's through there. And then you can just leave that sitting up the table with the line. So we've got the loop at this end, then the lure. The next thing we need is the bait spring. We'll come to this in a minute and how it works when we start rigging the ballyhoo. So that just slides on with the small end facing forwards and the fat end facing at the back. Next thing we need, I don't use a chafe tube at this end. I just go crimp on here, straight onto the hook and back into the crimp. Now, the important thing to remember is you need a small piece of piano wire for this now. You can crimp it as far up and set the hook length where you want in here. So if you want the bait further back, you set it, but I find actually this hook length is about correct with a very small loop on it, so I put it about there, that kind of length. Important thing is piano wire. Just take a small piece off. Easy way if you're on the boat, you don't have the pliers, twist it, pull it tight, and untwist it the other way, and it should just break off in your hands. There you go, that'll snap off nicely like that. Now we insert that from the front to the back, inside. Don't come out too far here, because if you come out too far here, the line will get cut here. It cuts the line in the hook. So just keep that just inside the crimp. So the crimp should slide down over the top of that. So it's there, inside the crimp. Then, once you've got that in, you take your crimping pliers again and crimp it to the correct distance. Okay, then we're gonna have the hook facing down, and you're going to look at which way these have lined up. We should have this one in the middle. This now needs to be bent up to the top. Okay? And then you take about an inch and just cut it off and an inch. Be careful on the boat where that end goes. We don't want it in the ocean, you don't want it left on the boat. Be careful because it's very sharp and will go through your foot. Once that's on, that's our rigged, ready to go, ready for the ballyhoo. Obviously this end we connect to our main line, whether either swivel, snap swivel, or however you like to make your connections to your main line. And there it is. That's it done. So from there, when we come to the bait, we take a morella. This one I processed. What I do when I process them, I get a very saturated salt solution, which is just normal salt. First thing, you turn the fish this way around and you just push the stomach all the way down until you get the air sac and all the poop comes out, because we don't want any of that poop in there. It makes the fish go off, it makes the bellies rip open. Okay, so once all that's out, you then take a broken old fishing rod or whatever you've got, and we poke out the eyes this way. This stops the bait washing out, stops the water going into the mouth. You don't want water going in here and the pressure building up in the belly and it blowing the belly out. Okay, so once you've got your rigged ballyhoo there, this one, I then at this stage would put into brine water. This has already been done, but I put into the salt solution with a couple of teaspoons of baking soda. I find it makes it shine. If you get the baking soda from Kiehl's or Food City or any of the major supermarkets have it. Once you have that, you find the gill plate here. If you use the back of the hook just to open up the gill plate under here, we're going to go in through here and bend the ballyhoo round till it comes out at about the belly here. So you want it to poke out through here. Some people make a cut here before to measure it, but I find with these hooks they sit perfectly like this. Now here's where the wire comes in. This piece of wire that we put into the crimp goes in between the nostrils, and be very careful, don't hold it like this and push it because it'll go straight into your fingers. So hold your hand further down and in just in between the nostrils and up through the mouth like that. You can see there, the crimp comes up and through the mouth. You then take your bait spring, you go over the top and you twist it on like this. So you see the beak's poking through here, twist it on, doesn't have to be too many turns, but what that does is it pulls the bait from here rather than the hook pulling in the belly. So the hook's sitting there nicely, that bait is good to go. Slide this one down and that's it, done. Ready to go in the water. You've got a rigged ballyhoo with a hook in the back and the whole thing should get you a marlin or maybe a wahoo. The wahoo go crazy for these. But that's how I fish. I fish 2 bigger ones, exactly the same, and 2 little ones. I fished 2 blue and white and 2 red and whites. And then something down the middle underneath, like maybe a bonito, one of these Yazuri bonitos. The fish whack these. And the good thing with these lures is, when you're looking at them this way, they're black. When the fish swims past, they change color. Fish sees the color change, orange is there. Color changing lures are great and they smash this every day. Okay, that's how I put my spread out. So I'd have the bigger 2 close in, this down the middle in the prop wash, and the smaller 2 further out on the boat, maybe 50 to 60 meters behind the boat. And then we travel at about 15 knots up and down the ocean shelf, hoping for some good luck. Tight lines, see you later.